G'day folks. Okay, today I want to talk to you about what you should know about riding and hiring motorbikes in Thailand. Now, motorbikes have always been a passion of mine. I've ridden them ever since I was a little kid. I've ridden them right through my adult life. I've been everywhere on motorbikes and I've loved it. And I still love it, even getting out of my scooter now, guys. But motorbikes are dangerous. So there's things you need to know and take into account, okay? Should you hire a motorbike in Thailand? Absolutely not. No, that's a bit harsh. Look, if you're experienced, I'd say yeah, go for it. Not a problem. But if you're not experienced, I would say no, give it a miss, guys. Also depends on where you are located too, guys. Like if you're in Bangkok, no way, Bangkok's a nightmare. If you're in Phuket, it's crazies out there. The van drivers and the tuk-tuk drivers will run you over. So again, no way, and the traffic is really, really bad. So that's a no-no. Pattaya, again, it's busy, there's crazy people on the roads, no way. Now if you're at somewhere like Krabi, yeah, sure, why not? There's not that much traffic, it's not too bad. Or maybe Hue Hin, same, not so busy, so, yeah, they're places that you should maybe consider it, but other than that, guys, steer clear of it. Okay, so you've never ridden here, and what should you expect? Well, when I first got here, I got road rage because the driving was that bad, right? But they don't know. Most of them haven't got licenses and they don't care. So it's like a big game of chicken. So they just do whatever they want. They just overtake you and then they'll turn left in front of you. They'll overtake you up the wrong side or the left side, and then you go to turn left and there's a bike underneath you ready to take you out. There's bikes heading down the wrong way, like on one-way streets, and cars heading down one-way streets the wrong way, and you name it, it just happens. There's just people everywhere. Like you can be riding on along an 80k sort of motorway, highway thing, and someone will just pull out in front of you from nowhere. It just happens, and that's the way it is. So factor that in, guys. It is very, very dangerous, and when you least expect it, because that's when it happens. Okay, so you're going to hire a bike. What kind of bike are you going to hire? Okay, so guys, I want you to factor in a few things, and I'm trying to keep you safe here. Get a bike that's going to suit your purpose. Now, if you're only going to ride around town, just get something small that you're comfortable on, that's not too heavy for you, and you should be right with that. Now, if you're going to do bigger distances, make sure that you're okay with something a bit bigger and a bit heavier, because the bigger bikes, they go faster, they handle better, the brakes work better, but they're better at speed. They're a lot more stable. Okay, so it's horses for courses here. Okay, so you've decided on what kind of bike you want. Now, where are you going to get the bike from? Now, what I would suggest is go to places that look really good, like where the bikes look nice and clean and near new. They look like they're in good condition, they probably are. If you're looking at old bikes and they're all beat up and filthy and rusty and whatever, the chances are they're shit boxes, and you don't want to be on one of them when you have a near miss or an accident, because you may not be able to stop and whatever. So go to a place that's got good bikes, pay a little bit more, and get a nice clean bike, right? And it could save your life. Okay, so you know nothing about bikes. What should you look for when you're hiring a bike? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of tips, guys. Now, there's people that will try and scam you, get money out of you and what have you. Now, you don't want that, so I'm going to tell you what to do. Now, first of all, go around the bike, have a look at it, check it, make sure the tyres are good, right? Pull the levers, make sure the brakes and that feel good. Twist the hand grips and make sure the hand grips aren't falling off and that they're feeling okay, they're safe. Because the last thing you want is to have a scary moment and one of the hand grips comes off, believe me. Anyway, so check that out, guys. Then walk around the bike with your phone, right? Now, when you're doing this, video the bike, and any little scratch you see, touch it with your finger. Now, by this time, the guy at the hire place will be with you, right? and you touch everything. And what this is going to do, it's going to make him aware that you see all the damage on the bike. So he knows that when you bring the bike back and it's got no more damage, he's not going to try and have a go at you, okay? He's not going to try and say you damaged it, right? Because he's seen you identify the damage straight up. Okay, should you give the hire places your passport? Now, I would say no. I never give them my passport. What I do is I take my passport with me and I take a copy of my passport. And I will say, look, I need my passport to do a check-in or what have you. Or basically, I just don't want to give it to you, right? And what I'll do, I'll say, you know, the deposit's normally 1,000 baht for a scooter or something. I'll pay 3,000 or 4,000 baht deposit. You're going to get your money back, guys, so, you know, that doesn't matter. But don't give them your passport, because there have been scams and stuff like that where people have copied people's passports and stuff like that, and people's passports have actually gone missing. So you don't want that to happen. So I would suggest take your passport and a copy, leave the copy, take your passport with you, pay a bit more deposit, and you should be okay. It's worked for me. Do you need a driver's license to hire a motorbike? No, you don't need a driver's license, but I would recommend you do have one. Now, if you're from another country, you'll need a valid motorcycle license from that country to get a proper international license. So what are the drawbacks if I don't have a international license? Okay, so one, you're not going to be insured if you have an accident. Okay, two, you could get some big fines from the police if you drive past their checkpoints. So just factor that in mind, guys. No insurance and fines. So you've gone through a checkpoint and the police have pulled you over and they found that you haven't got a license. So what happens then? Okay, so you're going to be told to hand over your country license or your ID, and the police are going to take that and they're going to take it to the police station, and they're going to tell you that you have to go to the police station, right, to pay your fines before you get it back. Now, if you haven't got a license, I think the fine is anything from 1,000 baht to 4,000 baht. Now, I'm not sure which one it is, but there's going to be fines involved. It's the same as if you don't wear a helmet when you're riding. What about insurance? What happens there? Now, if you're unlicensed, you have no insurance, so it's a problem. Now, if you've got a license, a valid license, you may be insured, but you need to check with your insurance company, because they do have limits on what size and type of bikes you are allowed to hire overseas, and some of them won't cover you. So check with your insurance company. Won't the motorbike rental place have insurance? No, guys, he won't have insurance. The motorbike is your responsibility. You break it, you pay for it. You break yourself, you pay for it as well. Especially if you haven't got a license, you're going to be paying your own medical bills. Okay, what happens if I have an accident? Okay, so guys, you have an accident. You got no license, you have an accident, you had an accident with, say, crashed into a Thai person. Chances are, if you haven't got a license, you're going to be in the wrong, and you're going to have to negotiate with the Thai person and the police to settle this thing, and it's going to come down to dollars. And it's not unheard of for them to want 200,000 baht or something, about 8 or 9 grand, to sort the problem out and cover them for what's going on. Now, out of this money, the police get a big chunk of it, and that's just how the system goes. So what happens if I have an accident but I'm insured? Okay, well, it's a similar thing, but okay, you'll probably be insured and be okay for hospital, but just be aware, right, that you may have to pay up front and you might get reimbursed for it later. So you may have to fork out any medical bills up front, right? And if you're insured, the bill's going to be a lot bigger than if you're not insured, guys. So that's a disadvantage, but at least you'll be covered for a portion of the accident. Okay, so what about the person that I hit or hit me? What happens there? Is that still the same with the police in the negotiation? Well, the chances are that you've got a much better chance of being not in the wrong if you've got a license. You'll probably find that the Thai person that you hit hasn't got a license, so you're a better chance of winning this thing and not having to fork out so much. But if you do hurt a Thai person in an accident, you are still going to have to pay, and it will be by negotiation between the Thai person and the cop and you. Are there any places that are worse to ride than other places? Okay, number one worst place to ride would be Bangkok. Too many crazy people, too busy, too much traffic. It's a nightmare. You don't want to be there on a bike. Okay, number two, Phuket. Right, tourists, crazy people, crazy Russians riding around on motorbikes, and windy roads. Now, the tuk-tuk drivers are crazy, the van drivers are crazy, they straight line the corners, and really, really bad driving practices over there. Very, very dangerous. Number three for me would be Pattaya. Pattaya is very busy, people just swimming around everywhere, and yeah, crazy people just doing strange things. So Pattaya would be number three. Is there anywhere in Thailand where the riding is actually good? Yeah, there are a few places where the riding is good, like Koh Phangan's pretty good to ride. It's got great roads, great things to look at, and the roads are in pretty good condition. Koh Samui's not too bad. You can ride around the island. It's not so bad. Some of the roads halfway between Phuket and Krabi and stuff like that, they're quite good. They're quite good to ride. And yeah, just patches of roads everywhere, but that'd be the main ones that I've sort of noticed that I thought were okay. Yeah, up north there's also some great riding, Chiang Mai, Mae Hong Son Loop, and some really good stuff up there as well.